Happy Thursday and welcome to almost to autumn. I know the calendar says it's been that for a while, but the weather's beginning to feel a little bit that way. It's a great time of the year and I hope it's one that's a blessing to your life, and we look forward to so many things that lie ahead. You know, sometimes we think of autumn as just the precursor to winter. And some of us hate winter. I'm not a big fan of the cold myself, but you know, winter has a stark beauty of its own. And as it passes, it brings the beauty of spring. I'm not going to hurry time, though. It's going to go at its own pace, and I'm just glad to be here today, and I'm glad you're with me today. And so let me invite you into my little world for a moment as we share a thought or two together. Today, I'm thinking about words. You know, it bothers me sometimes. I love words, and people will call me, so let me interrupt myself. Sometimes, and I know when they've got something written, so what would be a good word in the place of this? And I love words. I'm not a thesaurus. I don't know every synonym or even antonym for every word out there by any means. I love reading and I love descriptive language that brings to life something that's been written in a book or in a story. I love to hear speakers speak with great fluent words that have depth and meaning to them. Isn't it fun? I love words and I love to hear their meanings expressed. You know, maybe that's part of why they love Jesus so much. There was a practicality to what he says. There was a richness of texture. There was a righteousness to it. There was an authority to it. And he wrote with such fervor, such beauty of words, that people were amazed at what he had to say. It was different in his time, and I think we see that today. And I love some of the truly good writers of our time who have such wonderful, wonderful skills. And I love to hear good speakers whose words flow with beauty and operate in such a way that you draw a picture in your mind. And that's what words are supposed to do. But as I began to say, I'm a little bit bothered by the way we throw words out there that have very little meaning to them anymore. I read something one day and said the word awesome has lost all its meaning. And you're right, it doesn't have much meaning. Generally, you look at the speaker or the person using it and you recognize what they're trying to say. It's neat, it's exciting, it's fun. They'll say, oh, it was awesome. The peanut butter I ate this morning was awesome. Okay. I think we get what they mean. They enjoyed it, so it's good. But you know, when words lose their meanings, how do we convey the picture? How do we get it across to people? I think that's a challenge for those of us who spend so much of our time trying to communicate. Here's something the Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 14th chapter. Maybe this wasn't exactly what he had in mind, but he says, therefore, if I do not know the meaning of the language, I shall be a foreigner to him who speaks, and he who speaks will be a foreigner to me. Maybe as we see the influx of so many people from other countries into this so-called melting pot of the world, we've recognized that sometimes the languages as they come in, don't have much meaning to us because we don't understand what's being said. But I think that the greater problem is when the words that we share, even of the common language that we generally all associate with, the common language, when those words don't really convey. And somebody says, well, what did you mean? Or we hear the pundits, we hear the spinmeisters take the words of a politician and spin it in another direction and try to make it into something that was not intended by the speaker. I guess we all have this affinity towards words and meanings that are there. And I think there's real value in us considering that. You know, there's a little song that children sing sometimes in Sunday school that says, be careful, little mouth, what you say. Maybe we need to think, be careful, big mouth, what you say. Maybe I'm talking about me. But we need to be careful about our words. and what they say. Not that we don't say something because we're fearful we might not be misunderstood, but that we consider carefully how we say what we say and the words that we choose to use, because those words have meaning. The late Rush Limbaugh used to say on his show, whether you liked him or not, he used to say, words have meaning. And I know he was pointing at a lot at the politicians and so forth of the day, but he's exactly right. If they don't have meaning anymore, what's the point of using them? If they no longer convey an image to a listener, what's the point of saying them? If they don't convey a picture to the reader, why put the word in print? It's about imagery of the mind, isn't it? Because that's what words are. One of my favorite songs of the brothers group, the Bee Gees. One of my favorite songs. You already figured it out. One of my favorite songs is that song, Words. Listen to this. You think that I don't even mean a single word I say, but here it is. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. Carrying it outside of maybe the exactness of their meaning, we begin to realize that words are what we have to convey a message, to get a picture in the minds of others. In an age where we text as little, as miniaturely as we possibly can, where our ability to write and use language has diminished to a great degree in terms of those communications, whether an email, a text, or whatever it might be, and shortened versions, and we have to throw things in, and we use acronyms quite often. What happens to the words? What happens to the beauty and the picture of them? There was a time we loved beautiful poetry for its flowing words and the images it conveys. I think that's still in us, isn't it? I think we still hold on to that. Honestly, I don't think we can read through the marvelous words of Jesus' great Sermon on the Mount without being amazed and caught by the vision or the imagery of the things that are stated there. I think we still think words are important. When you say the words, those three little words, I love you, to someone, you want that word love to have meaning, don't you? You want it to convey an image, an understanding to the person that's there. But as we know, we've used the word love for all kinds of things today. Even things that are somewhat unacceptable. But when you say, I love you, to your child, to your husband, your wife, to a family member, to a friend, when you use the word, I love you, or say the phrase, I love you, and want to use the word love, you want them to understand something. So it's important that we know what our words mean. It's important that we be able to communicate them and use them well. Use them liberally, but use them sparingly at the same time. Make sure that it says what you want it to say. I think when we read, we draw the picture of the mind, and I hope we still read. And in the picture of the mind, we want it to have the beauty, the artistry, and the color that it needs to have. So I keep in mind simply what Paul is telling us. If I don't understand the language, if words don't have the meaning to me, I don't get anything out of it. And the person who's trying to communicate with me loses as much as I do. So let's think about our words today. Make them beautiful words. Make them caring words. Make them chosen words. Let's don't use them just because that's what somebody else is using. Let's use the language of the intelligent rather than the illiterate. Let's use the language that conveys rather than distorts. Let's use the language that colors rather than removes color. Let's use words that describe with accuracy the things that are there so that people understand, so that we understand, so that our hearers or readers understand what's being said. Yeah, it's only words. But on a large scale, words are truly what we have to affect the hearts, to take the hearts away, to affect the hearts, the minds of those with whom we communicate. Just think how marvelous it would be if we could truly get across to everyone we love what that word means to us. Think about it. If I said I love you, it may not mean much to you right now, but if we were face to face, well, you know the difference. Well, I hope it's a great day for you, and I hope it's one that blesses your life and you can be a blessing to others. So today, choose your words well and express them well, even if you're in the midst of an argument. Choose your words well today, and everyone will be benefited by you doing so. Hey, thanks for being with me today. We'll share this thought. Let's communicate in the very best ways. We'll look for more further down the road, but glad you're with me today, and I hope it is truly a great day for you.